Okay, this is part two of uploading a new promotion. So the promotion we're going to replace is this one, and we've already done some steps. We've extracted one of the assets, which is the image from the PDF file. And as I said last time, I am missing the poster PDF. I only have the details one, but that's okay. We'll work around that. So the other thing we need to do is grab the image off the front page, and the easiest way is simply to use your browser and copy image, then go to Photoshop and then create a new document. And I'm just going to paste that in there. So what we want to do is somehow get a good representation of our poster image down to this size. So the first thing I'm going to do is just drag it over there, and I'll put away that one, and I'm going to hit Control T, and holding down the Alt key means that Photoshop will keep it centered. In my version of Photoshop, by the way, I should let you know that I have CC 2019, and Photoshop or Adobe have changed how it works. You no longer have to hold down the Shift key to keep things in proportion. Uh, they've made that on by default. So just a little warning there for you that if you don't have a current version of Photoshop, then you need to hold down the Shift key as well to keep it proportional. Otherwise, you'll end up stretching the image like that. So now in my version, when I hold down the Shift key, it actually becomes non-proportional, and we don't want that. So when I let go of the Shift key, it remains proportional. So we're going to have a look here and just shrink that down a little bit. Now that's not too bad, so I'll accept that. This is the opportunity for you to put some text on this image if you want to highlight something. And perhaps you could also grab the actual product and move it over. That's depending on what assets you have available and how confident you feel in Photoshop. But for now, I'm just going to leave this like this is. And I'm going to save this as a Photoshop document in case I need to come back to it. And I'm just going to make it promotion. And I better make sure I'm in the right directory. Actually, I'll give it the proper name and just call it a thumbnail. Okay, so that's the Photoshop document, but of course I need to extract that as a JPEG. And so again, we come back to export, save for web legacy, make sure that we're exporting a JPEG and not a PNG file, and that looks perfectly fine to me. So I'm just going to do save. And yep, that's in the right directory, and we can see that Photoshop has automatically put in the hyphens. So I don't need Photoshop anymore. So let's work on the website now. So if I click on this, I come to this page, and I'm going to go to edit page because I want to make a copy of this page to use as the new page for the promotion. So I'm just waiting for this to load up the back end. It's a little bit slow at the moment. I'll also need to create a new page, so I'm just going to right click here and open up a new tab and go to pages, and I want to add a new page, and the title of this page will be something appropriate. So if I look back here, we might call it the must-have. So I'll just call this the must-have. So I'm going to add the title. And again, the format, the style of this website is that we use title capitalization. So we don't have everything screaming to us in all caps. And look at that, I timed out. That's not a problem. I just hit reload. And there we go. I don't know why that took so long. Could be that my internet is a little bit slow today, but not to worry. So back to adding our new page. Okay, we give it the title, then we must put it in the correct place in the structure. And where these pages go is if we scroll down here, we see that we've got resources. And if I scroll down a bit further, we have promotions. So that's where it goes, under resources, under promotions. And if we like, we can publish that page now, though it's fairly meaningless because there's nothing there. But at least we've saved it. And now we go back to the page we're going to copy. So if you see this, this means that you're in the page builder view, and that's fine. But for what we're about to do, we want to go to what's called the classic mode. So we hit the classic mode, and then we make sure that we're not visual, because we'll see all this and we don't want to see it like that. What we want to see is the text mode like this. And we simply just select everything on that page, copy it with a Control-C. Come to this page, and again, make sure that we're in the text mode. We are. Paste everything. We're going to update that page. And now if we go to the backend editor, we can see that we now have the same as what we had over here on the backend editor. So these are the page builder icons. And if we view the page, so it's going to right click and open up a new tab. We see must have, but of course it has the old post, the old image and the wrong PDFs. So we come back here and now it's time to start editing the various things. So the first thing we're going to do is the single image, and we're going to hit, so I'll just do that again a little slowly. So you hover the mouse over and until you get this green bar, and then you come along here and you select the pencil icon, which is the edit, and we're going to add an image, and we're going to upload a file. So coming back here, and the file I want is this one. No, it's not. That's the Photoshop file. I would have been wrong. It's this one. I can tell because of the hyphens. We want the JPEG. So we just click and drag that there. And when it's finally uploaded, we can tell that we can see the image there, and we say set image. And we can see the image is there. We save changes. And once we save changes there, we update the page. And if I refresh the page now, hopefully we've changed the image. So now we've changed the image. Alrighty, so that was the first step. Now what we have to do is come down here and edit the PDFs that the person will actually get. So again, this is on visual, so it's easy to see if we move to text, and we can actually see here that we have all the details. And unfortunately, this has to be in HTML because of what we're doing. So we need to make the appropriate changes. But first we need to upload the assets so that we have the links to put in. So coming back here, I'm going to go back and right click here. I need another copy of the dashboard. And you find as you're working on this, the number of tabs just grows as you're going along. So we need to come to the media library here. And the media library is where we put everything, including PDFs. So we're going to add new. So normally I would have two. I would have both the details and the poster PDF, but at the moment I only have the details document. So I'm just going to click and drag that. And this is going to upload. And we can tell that it's uploaded once the bar's finished. And it gives us the PDF. Now, if we click on this, we get over here the link. So I'm going to put my cursor in there, go Control A to select all, Control Copy. I'm just going to open up the notepad, and just so we can see that we've got the whole thing. And if we go back here, we can see that the top one is the details and the bottom one is the poster. So if we come back to edit page, so I'm just going to close this. And so it's going to be the top one is the details and the bottom one is the poster. Okay, good, got that. Editing it, and again going to text, and it's the top one I'm going to change. So I'm just going to copy that, select it all, and then copy it over into my notepad, just because I personally find it a little bit easier to edit things in the notepad. And we need to change two things. We need to change the link, which is the top one, and we need to change the title. So we're going back to the media link, and that is where we get the link from, but of course we have already copied it into Notepad. So I'm going to take that and carefully select it all. And this operation is a little bit delicate because it's important that you don't accidentally wipe out things like quotation marks, or you miss characters or anything like that. And so I need to put all of that in here to overwrite what was there. So I'm going to do a paste. Yep, and that's looking good. And we're just going to change this. We'll leave download there, but we'll change it. So we're going to make it must have. And that's looking good. These other things here have to do with how it's targeted, how the page opens, the icon that we use. You don't need to worry about that. So again, selecting the entire amount and going back to edit page. It's the top one that changes because the bottom one is the poster, the top one is the details. So I'm just going to change the top one by pasting all of that in there. And a quick look, yes, that's changed. Save those changes, and we can see it's now must have. Update the page. And if we go to this page and renew, and we can see we can download the PDF. And if we have a look, of course, that is the correct PDF. Now, normally I would have another step where I change the poster, but as I've said a couple of times now, I don't have the poster. But it's essentially the same thing, right? So you have to upload the poster to the media library. Once it's in the media library, go to the details simply by clicking on whatever document it is, and that will get you the link. And then you simply come here, and making sure that you're in text is that you edit this link and you edit the text describing the link. Now, as I said, you're welcome to do it right in this dialog box here. I personally find, perhaps my eyesight's not quite as good as yours, I find it a little bit easier for me to edit in Notepad, but that's an optional step. Alright, so we've done that part, but now what we need to do is go back to the home page, and this will be a lot more delicate because with what we've been doing so far, we're creating a new page, and if we make a mistake there, then the new page is not being shown anywhere other than to you, so it's no great damage. But here we're going to edit the home page directly. So navigating to the home page, we now go to edit page. And we just wait for the page builder to load, and we have to scroll down till we get to the promotions. And it's often helpful to have the page actually open so that we can double check to make sure we're working on the right thing. So it's this image here, which is going to be this image here. It's the fourth one along. So we've got a few things to change here, and we're going to first thing is we're going to do is change the image. So I need to upload that image I created in Photoshop a few moments ago. So we can see here it's the thumbnail image, so I'm just going to drop that across and set that as image. So that's good. So we just update that page. And we come here. Okay, we've changed the image. Good. Okay, now we need to change the title. So we come back here and it's our custom heading. And again, hover over custom heading till we get the green bar. Select that and it's here. So we might just call this must have. Save the changes. Now I'm, just for demonstration purposes, I'm frequently updating and reloading the page to show you. Of course, if you're working yourself, that might slow you down a little bit. You don't need to keep doing this over and over again. You can just work until you've got it all done. So now we have the title, but we don't really have an appropriate description. Let's go back to the document and see if we've got something in there that we can use. So this is the PDF. We scroll down. Yep, this looks good. So I'm just going to copy those 2 lines. This time it's really useful to actually paste this from the PDFs into Notepad just to see if you need to fix up anything. That looks okay. It's just that sometimes PDFs hidden to us have various escape codes which we don't want to copy over into the website. But this one's nice and clean. So we come back here and we scroll down here to the text block. And we just copy over the top. There we go. Save changes. Update the page to make sure that I'm just going to see how that line of text looks. So it'll be down here when I refresh. It's a little bit long. It's looking uneven to the rest. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to remove the second line. Right. If you're doing this, you might want to rewrite and just make it something different. But I'm just, for the sake of this exercise, I'm just going to remove the second line, update the page, refresh that page. Great. Now, we're almost done. But there is one thing I've forgotten, of course. So if I click on that, oops, it takes us to the old one. So what we need to do, of course, is go back to the edit page. And what we need to do is to come here and we need to select the URL. Alrighty, so you can either come to the must-have page and copy the URL. Oops. And paste it directly in there. Or you can go through here and this will show you every single page that's available to you, which at this stage might take you a little while to get there because there's a lot of pages. So I just did copy and paste. So I set it as link. And of course I save the changes. I update the page. I come back and view the page now. Now when I click on the link, fingers crossed, it should go to must have. Yes. Now, do we have anywhere else that we have a link? Yes, on the image. And again, taking us to the wrong page, so we need to go back and fix the link on the image. So open a custom link, and down here, this dialog box is a little bit different, so we're just going to select all of that, delete it, and paste in our new link to must have. Update the page. Refresh our home page. Click on the image. Fantastic. So we're looking good. Now there's one more link, of course, that we may have forgotten, which is down here, Shop Now. Where does Shop Now take us? Well, unfortunately, it's taking us to a place we don't want to go. We don't want to go to genetic. We want, of course, go to here. So I have a look at must-have again. I think this is a retail product. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll say that it is. So we will select retail here. We'll just pick offers and specials. Oh, there it is. I've even picked the right page. Fantastic. All right. So we do a copy and we come back to our edit page, and this time we're editing the must-have page. So we're not editing the home page, and here we have a button. We edit the button. Give that a moment to land, and we select the URL, and we're just going to do a paste. Set link. Save changes. Update. Refresh this page. And shop now. Did that page refresh? Yes, it did. And there we are. We're in the right place. So let's go back here to the home page, and let's make sure that everything is working if we follow the whole story through. So if we come down here, must have, we click on that. It brings up the must have page. And of course, normally we would have the correct poster in there, but that's okay. That's going to be easy to change. And if we shop now, we go to the correct shop page, and that's it. Okay, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.